My crutch?
Yes, they're my crutch too. Slides
yes.
every time. And we're on the air. Hello, hello, John Van Limbeek. How are you? Let's just call you John.
Just John. It's okay. Yeah,
just John.
Right. Just John.
So John's joining us today from Abbott Wealth. We have a great subject today, actually. Things that you have to think about when planning your estate. You know, having an estate is super important, but some people, I think, don't always realize all of the things that are involved.
Well, and the estate is not necessarily large estates either. I mean, everyone has an estate.
Yes.
And I don't know, it's tough to what to do in the summertime. Everybody's like, you know, summer holidays, so it's tough to have topics.
Sure.
But we'll talk about this
I
one
love
and
it.
see.
It's a good one.
There's a couple
Yeah.
things in here.
We got a couple slides. Let's start. 6 pitfalls to watch out for. So those 6 in your view, the pitfalls.
6 in this slide here.
Okay.
Yeah. There's more, but there's a couple here.
Okay, so let's get started.
And some of them are fairly self-explanatory. Don't, you know, like I said, don't prepare your own will. Don't buy the, you know, the drugstore will kit.
Do people do that still?
People do that, absolutely. You know,
Saving a buck.
and for $1,000-ish or so to do the proper will, man, you're talking about so much at risk if you think you're going to do it simply, even if you have a simple estate. And there's a lot of people that do. But you know, everything can be challenged, and your wishes may not be, you know, you're no longer around to communicate your wishes, and
Sure.
and that's not the way to go. That's for sure.
Okay.
The other one was mental capacity. And that's just in regards to the state of mind that the person's in, right? So if you have a reduced mental capacity, you may not be able to understand the information and or appreciate the consequences that are going along with that, with the decision that you're making, right? The lawyer in that case is the best person. Lawyer, doctor is the best person to take a look at or to assess that. But if there's a challenge on mental capacity, the actual will may not stand up either.
So
right.
how do you avoid that going into getting your estate done? Do you have somebody evaluate you ahead to make sure?
Well,
you're in
it's
the right
more
mind?
that in that case it may be more of an elderly parent or an elderly person, right? Where you know, if you change that will, you know, maybe when you're 65 and then you're 70 and now you did it, you know, at 88,
Sure.
there might be you know, and dramatically changed it. There might be you know, a challenge there by the beneficiaries.
Okay.
Right. To say, you know, that's where it all comes from. It's the beneficiaries, not something's changing for them, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to the next slide.
Again, simple things. Make sure you know where to find your will, but more specifically, make sure your executor knows where your will is,
Yes.
and maybe even knows who your lawyer is.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So you know, if someone's going to be my executor to the will, they better know where to find the will. They better know who my lawyer is. They might even want to know who the financial advisor is, because if there's any insurance that goes along with that, they're the ones that are going to be, you know, starting the whole process, right?
Absolutely.
So don't make it difficult for them to go on a hunt for the will.
For the will, and
yeah,
where,
exactly.
where is it parked in town?
Yeah, absolutely.
And but a joint names arrangement, what's that
Joint
about?
names, that's just putting, you know, some people will want to add a joint name to a house to avoid probate, or a joint name to a bank account, or a joint name to an asset, and not fully understand the consequences of adding that joint name, right? And or the either tax or liable consequences. Again, you got to talk to your lawyer about that, talk to the accountant about the tax consequences. It is usually very simple depending on the asset, but the ramifications could be complicated.
Okay.
And you know, whether it's you know, as soon as you put a joint person on that asset is jointly owned and has liabilities for both parties now.
Okay.
So you're not necessarily saving a little bit. You might be opening up a big can of worms on the other side.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
2 more, I think, that we have to look at here?
Yeah, and guardians, in this case here, guardians shouldn't be the sole trustees of the estate. There was a case around this where both parents died and left the guardian, named the guardian for the kids as well as the trustee for the estate.
Yes.
And the guardian mismanaged the trustee mismanaged the trust.
Yeah.
And there was no, which is the guardian in that case, there was no money left over for the kids. So they should have, if you trust someone to raise the kids, the guardian's separate than the trustee, or
Okay.
maybe joint trustees or something like that. But
Okay.
not it's just something to be aware of.
Absolutely.
For sure.
What was that last one?
The last one
again?
was in regards to the credit rating, and a little quirky little things again too is that if you don't have a credit rating, you may not be able to get a Fortis bill or a BC Hydro account. So if you know, and usually it's let's say it's in the man's name, and the ladies, you know, usually have the longevity on their side.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there may be lots of money in the account, but you have no credit rating. You know, you may not get a TELUS bill.
Right.
You may not be able to move that Fortis account into your. Believe me, it happens.
Yeah.
And they're just saying, even if you have a little bit, like they're saying have a credit card in your own name or a couple accounts in your own name, just so you have that credit rating.
Sure.
Because some people have no credit rating, and then to try to get a credit rating when you're 82 or 78,
be hard.
It could be, and it is in some cases for sure.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's 6 of them to think about and think about during the summer.
That's right.
Summer
During
smoke.
the summer, or maybe in the fall.
In the fall,
if you want to wait.
Write them down, and then start in September.
All right.
Okay.
John, thank you for being here.
Okay.
I really boofed your last name off the top of the show. I don't know why I did that. Okay, AbbottWealth.com. We're back after a quick break. Stay with us.